G'day friends, welcome back to the Green Shire. Have you ever felt like your garden is a battle? A constant struggle against the weeds, the drought, and your own weary back? I know I have.
The problem isn't your effort, it's the design. We're trying to build resilience by fighting nature, when we should be working with her. And today, we're going to step into the world of permaculture design, the conscious way to build a productive permanent culture. Forget what you think you know about gardening. Permaculture isn't about growing plants, it's about design science. And it starts with the foundation. W.A.S. Water, access, structures. It's the Yeoman scale of permanence. And if you can get this right, you can turn your chaotic battlefield into a calm, resilient Shire.
But before we pick up a shovel, we must talk about the three simple ethics, the rules of the game: earth care, people care, and fair share.
Earth care is about providing for all life systems to continue and multiply. This means looking after the soil and stewarding water. People care means looking after ourselves and communities. No one garden alone. Even hobbits need their friends. And fair share, it's the beautiful one. Once you've looked after the earth and the people, you take what you need and the rest goes back to the other two. It's setting limits on consumption. Design starts with the hardest part to change, the land itself. Where is the water? Where will the access be? And where will the structures go?
Water is life. It's the absolute priority. Before you do anything, you must observe and interact. Get a topographical map and look at the naked shape of your land. Where does the water flow naturally? We harvest the energy of the rain by catching it off the roofs. Rainwater is pure gold, neutral pH, no sodium, perfect for our plants. We store it in header tanks at the highest point to allow passive gravity-fed irrigation later. Catch and store energy. But the cheapest, largest and most effective reservoir is the soil itself. This is where we bring in the earthworks master, the swale.
A swale is a level terraced trench dug perfectly on contour, with a raised mound, the berm, downhill.
It is perpendicular to the flow of the water, acts as a complete stop. It forces the water to slow down, spread out, and soak deep into the earth. Swales are groundwater recharging catalysts. They prevent erosion and turn a dry patch into a resilient, hydrated microclimate. Plant your fruit trees on the berm. They will thank you for that deep, constant moisture. This is how we build the earth care foundation.
Secrets they keep. Once they danced in the meadows, free as the breeze. But time took its toll and brought them to their knees.
Next comes access. Where are your roads and pathways? They must be designed to minimize energy expenditure. You don't want to hike for an hour just to grab some mint for a tea. Here's the trick. Your access routes must be multifunctional. Designed paths to intercept runoff and channel the water into nearby growing beds or swales. The road itself isn't just for walking, it's a water harvester. By designing for efficiency, you conserve your own energy, your time and effort, which is a form of surplus you can use later for people care.
A love long forgotten.
Finally, structures. Your permanent buildings, like the house, the workshop, the barn. These are placed last. Why? Because they must be placed in relation to the water flows and the access routes you just finalised. A poorly placed house can lead to flooding or a long, annoying trek to the garden. Get W.A.S. right and you have the permanent, resilient backbone of your Shire established.
But the world turned away, left not a trace. With petals like silk, they wove dreams in the sun. But the seasons have shifted, their laughter undone. Where once their roots tangled, now silence resides.
Now that the permanent landscape features are set, we organise everything else using zoning. Zones are all about energy efficiency and relative location. We place elements based on how much they need us, minimising the distance between the house and the task.
Zone 0 is the house itself, the centre of human activity. Zone 1 is the domestic zone, the herbs, salad greens and the worm bin you might visit multiple times during the day. Keep it right outside your kitchen. Zone 2 is the home orchard. Visit several times a week. You might collect berries, soft fruits, or you might have a larger composting system. Zone 3 is the farm zone, field crops and larger livestock. You might visit it weekly or seasonally. Zone 4 is managed wild, firewood and forage. And Zone 5 is the untouched wilderness, just for observation and learning.
Searching through memories, longing once again.
We must also account for sectors, the energies that flow through your site but are out of your control. Think hot summer winds, the cold winter sun angles, and fire danger.
Sector analyst dictates where we place things like evergreen windbreaks to shelter vulnerable zones, or where you might locate a pond, part of your W.A.S, to serve as a fire break. You can't stop the wind, but you can channel it or block it.
For the entwines we mourn, our hearts still they cling. With each note we play, let the stories unfold of the beauty we cherish.
A mature permaculture system is a powerhouse because every element fulfills multiple roles. That's stacking functions. A chicken just doesn't give you eggs. It weeds, it tills, it fertilises.
And in silent remembrance, let us hold them near.
The ultimate application of stacking is the food forest. We mimic the natural forest and grow in 7 layers. The canopy, the understory, the shrubs, herbs, ground covers, roots, and then climbers. That's what makes up a food forest.
This system manages its own fertilisation, pests and soil building. It's an enclosed ecosystem that requires minimal human effort once established. It's the closest thing to a self-sustaining Shire.
And though they're departed, their spirits will stay in the hearts of the living. Forever they'll play.
And as always in Queensland, always keep an eye out for these little fellas. You don't want to put your hands near them. And my place has lots of them. And finally, we plant in guilds, groups of species designed to support each other. The perfect example is the ancient indigenous wisdom of the Three Sisters Garden. The corn provides the trellis for the climbing beans. The beans fix nitrogen into the soil for the heavy feeding corn and squash, and the big squash leaves shade the ground, acting as a living mulch to suppress weeds and conserve precious water.
It's a perfect metaphor for community. Each element has a unique gift, and when they work together, the yield is plentiful. That, my friend, is the heart of people care and fair share in action. So we've covered the roadmap, starting with the non-negotiable ethics and moving through with the permanent W.A.S. foundations, organising with zone and sectors, and finally planting for resilience with stacking and guilds. Permaculture is about shifting from a culture of consumption to a permanent culture of design and regeneration. It's about slowing down and savouring the abundance that you grow. Your first step is to simply observe and interact. Map your water, define your zones, and start small. Maybe just a little kitchen garden in zone 1. So, if this helped you map out your Shire, hit that like button and subscribe for more Hobbit-inspired permaculture wisdom. Tell me in the comments below which part of the W.A.S. are you going to start first. And thank you for tending your part of the earth. I'll see you next time.